हेलो फ्रेंड्स, हाउ आर यू? आई होप यू ऑल आर डूइंग वेल. वेलकम टू यू ऑन आईएएस यात्री. मैं हूं आपका दोस्त आईएएस यात्री. एंड द फ्रेंड्स, टाइम इन द क्लॉक इज quarter to 8 p.m. of the night, and this is here the evening session has finished. I have done in the evening about my general studies of UPSC GS2, general studies paper to paper, and here I have done some topics like Indian Constitution topic number 1 and 2. So I am following Indian polity for studying polity. I am following Indian polity by Lakshmikant for covering my polity. So today I have covered 3 chapters, basically historical background of the constitution, how our constitution emerged, and what is the process that finally take this step. So, and the second chapter is about making of the constitution, like in the what kind of debates went in the constitution assembly, composition of the constitution assembly, and for the working of the how, what is the working of the constitutional assembly, what is the objective of resolution, changes by the independence act, and other functions of that our constitutional assembly had performed. And there are several committees in the constitutional assembly who were like related to the designing of the constitution, and plus other matters of the states and princely states and defense supplies, everything related. Drafting committee, who was the head of, you know very well, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was the head of the chairperson of the drafting committee. Then how this enactment of the constitution took 2 years, 11 months and 18 days. Further, the enforcement of the constitution, how did it enforce? And finally, there are certain criticism about the constitution assembly. For the major criticism are that it was not a representative body because indirect election took place for the constitution assembly. Second thing is that it was not a sovereign body because the constitutional assembly had to take permission from the crown, British government, for each sessions. Third thing is that like it was a very time consuming process to building the constitution. American constitution formation took only 4 months. And now again one more criticism is that it was dominated by the Congress. Why in the constitution assembly there was only one single largest party which covered the nearly 90% seat is there at Congress. So lack of opposition, lack of different ideology was there. But one point also to be noted here is that at that time Congress was like one umbrella kind of party in which all kind of ideology come together. It was a major party, of course, at that time. And then it was dominated by the lawyers. It is also a criticism because most of the all top constituent assembly member were the lawyers. So basically when we have all persons from one community or one profession, then while making something, then the diversityness is missing. If some were professor, doctors, engineers, lawyers, all kind of brass from cooperative society, farmers, then everything, when a everyone comes together, then a unique holistic kind of constitution can be made. And last is that it is dominated by the Hindu, lack of other religions like Islam and Christian, Sikhs, etc. So this was the second chapter about the formation of the constitution, making of the constitution. And the third chapter is salient feature of the constitution. Or constitution has very unique features, like it is a lengthiest written constitution. It is drawn from the various sources like USA, Japan, UK, and it is a blend of rigidity and flexibility. Next is that federal system with unitary bias. In our federalism, the union government has more power as compared to the state, and at time of emergency, union government can convert the whole state into a like unitary state. It can take all the powers of the state. Further is that parliamentary form of government we adopted instead of president form of government. Just like in USA, there are contest between the presidential candidates, but here in India, party contest the election and the majority party form the government at the center. Here in India, you will found more responsibility but less stability, while in American system you will found more kind of stability but less responsibility. So next is that synthesis of parliament sovereignty and judicial supremacy. It is a mix of both. It's our judiciary is very 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 much powerful, and it can declare null and void the laws formed by the parliament or declare invalid. Next is integrated independent judiciary in India. You can see over from lower court, district court, subordinate courts to high court, and then Supreme Court. All are integrated. The appeals filed from one court to another, and finally it end in the Supreme Court. So it is an integrated judiciary. Or high court cannot go against Supreme Court. and then fundamental rights. It's the very important, most important part of the our constitution, which like empower each individual, give us power. Then directive principle state policy, it makes like welfare state India, welfare state, very socialist policy like participation of worker in the management, better health policies, gender equality related provisions are comes here. And then fundamental duties, it reminds the citizen about they have also certain duties which they must fulfill towards the state, like respecting our constitution, respecting national anthem, national ideals, maintain the brotherhood and spirit of harmony among the citizens. Secular state, India is secular, you know, secularism is very unique feature of Indian constitution. Otherwise you can know the you can take the example of Pakistan, where they adopted the Islamic religion, you know, it's the Islamic state of Pakistan, something like that. And in that taking Islamic as a religion, they, you know, with time they become more fundamentalist, more communalist, and more, you can say, extremist ideology inculcate in their whole system, whole governance system. And you can also notice the attacks on minorities in Pakistan. Next is that it about universal adult franchise. As soon as you will become 18 years old, you can give the vote. And single citizenship, here state don't have their own citizenship, but on the other side America, they have each citizen have kind of dual citizenship. One is USA and second is state citizenship. So, and finally independent bodies, you know, you listen many times in the news also about election commission of India, comptroller general, or other kind of UPSC. These are independent body, they are like fixed, they have fixed service conditions, security of tenure, they charges from the consolidated fund of India. So these kind of provisions make them more independent, they don't depend on the government, means executive don't interfere in their working. They can take independent decisions which make or like system more impartial and more working on the objective basis, instead of just following the dictative terms of the political rulers. And finally emergency provision at the time of emergency, you can say, you have seen, you have listened many times that in 1975 emergency took place in India, and how much dangerous was it. So those emergency provision, but it is also cater the need of emergency situation, like if there is a external aggression, armed rebellion, or war take place, then these provisions can make administration more convenient to handle that emergency situation. And finally three-tier government, you know about the Panchayati Raj system is the third tier. First tier is like union government, second is state government, and third is Panchayati Raj or urban local bodies. So this was the 3 chapters of our Indian polity Amlakshikam, and they also covered our GS2 syllabus Indian polity. Thank you very much friends for watching this video, and please stay tuned with the IAS Yatri. I am following the Pomodoro technique of 30 minutes study, 5 minute break. So that is my study. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.